Absolutely, yeah, because it is hard sometimes in security. It's not as tangible as other investments, and so it's easy to say we did these things and we potentially stopped a brief, but it's a little vague, right? And so being able to actually quantify it and tie that back is really important, both for people that aren't in security to understand the work that they've done, but also feel good about the investments they have made in security as well. And so another real world example for everyone, this comes from, one of our really mature customers. You often hear about the financial impact of a breach after something has happened, right? Oh, this issue is exploited. They're able to do X, Y, and Z, and that's led to so on and so forth, right? But what about trying to quantify this ahead of time? And so, as I mentioned, one of our really mature customers does exactly this, and they're at the point that they focus a lot on the reporting of 0 days that have been discovered across their attack surface, tracking when they were discovered, aligning them across the metrics we just mentioned, but then also analyzing what's the risk of those issues that's been discovered. What would the broad-reaching impact be? Also the asset importance, and then quantifying, well, what could the impact have been if that was compromised? All those factors together is a real showcase of not only how good their program is and how efficient, but what they've actually been able to sort of stop as well, which I think is always an interesting thing to look at, because people tend to look at, oh, this happened, and so now we understand this. So doing it ahead of time, I think, actually shows some real world impact. Now, they obviously have a very mature program that can take time, but it's all about progress, right? So uplifting the security for newer programs, comparing their response times before their program and how this would be improved over time, both in terms of speed, but also you can look at volume of how many real exposures you're able to close. I know that's been another thing I've seen customers do is, prior to this, we were using another tool and we were only able to close out, 50 exposures, let's say, in this many years. Meanwhile, using this other tool, we were able to then turn that down to, having that same amount resolved within a matter of, weeks. So that can be another really cool metric too.
And Tim, just on this slide as well, if you just jump back 1 second as well, but I think it's you absolutely said it, but I just want to reinforce it. Underneath benefits and outcomes, it's been able to quantify the impact. It's far better to quantify what didn't happen and make the point of, we put this much in and look how much we've already saved. You alluded to it with the example earlier, that the program's already paid for itself.
Yep.
Resolving these things proactively is how the program pays for itself, and some, doesn't it? It mitigates that financial impact, but also maybe the headache of having to resolve and maybe kind of speaking to news outlets when something does go wrong.
Absolutely, yeah, because it is hard sometimes in security. It's not as tangible as other investments, and so it's easy to say we did these things and we potentially stopped a brief, but it's a little vague, right? And so being able to actually quantify it and tie that back is really important, both for people that aren't in security to understand the work that they've done, but also feel good about the investments they have made in security as well.